I realized a couple of years ago that I'm going to have 2 talks with my kids. I'm going to have the birds and the bees talk, and I'm going to have, unfortunately, the how not to get shot by the police when you get pulled over talk. And that's some real shit. And when I tell like white parents about it, they're like, oh, we didn't really think about it. Like, no, you didn't think about it because you're not going to have that. You know?
And I have to add on to that, I have fears every fucking day. Every fucking day that my husband is not going to come home if it's late at night and he's not responded back to me from a text message. Yeah. That, oh, shit. Did he get pulled over? Did somebody fucking, like, those are very real fears that I have in my life. And very real fears that he has in his life. And I mean, I'm not trying to like bring the room down, but that's the shit.
Well, that's the real shit. We're parents. We got to deal with that shit. I used to get pulled over all the time. Honest to God, the only reason I don't get pulled over is because I worked from home for the past 5 years and I don't commute. That's literally the only fucking reason I don't get pulled over. And it's funny. I can laugh at it, but it's true. Right. I hear it all the time. I talk about people getting pulled over, and there's always something, well, was the last time you've been pulled over, motherfucker? And I'm like, I don't know when I stopped commuting, bitch. That's why.
But like with him, he does a lot of his stuff late at night. So like he will, and the Taconic Parkway is a fucking beast. And he'll come home from Manhattan, and he'll be like, I'm really tired. I'm going to pull over at the safe spot that I know. And he pulled over in a safe spot one night, and it could have been really bad. He pulled over in Mayapack, and he pulled over into a bank parking lot. And woke up to fucking flashlights in his window. And it could have been really bad from there. Right. But he was driving a goddamn Prius, and they were like, what black dude is going to be driving a goddamn Prius?
Like, he ain't a threat.
Parking in Mayapack. He's not a threat. He's not trying to get away from nobody. But my point is that there's always that fear, and I always have that fear for him, and it sucks. It sucks that you should have that fear for your husband, and the fact that your husband has to have that fear for himself. And the world that we live in fucking blows when it comes to that. And I have not talked to my daughter about that, and I hope that I don't have to talk to her about that.
I hope I don't have to talk to my kids about it. But I mean, and to be honest, I do have kind of a blanket because we live in fucking Rhinebeck. That's not really a thing.
And Rhinebeck is like white.
Yeah, Rhinebeck is like super white.
Artsy fartsy, classy, white, fat,
hipsters.
Like
Crumpets.
hipsters.
I wouldn't say exactly hipsters, but I mean, no, you want hipsters? You shake your ass to fucking Hudson. Yeah. That's fucking hipsters, okay?
Hudson used to be the Jerry Springer scouting town.
Yeah, now Hudson is like fucking little
Now
Williamsburg.
Hudson is definitely like hipsters.
Amazing.
But
Yeah.
It's funny, I have had that talk, but now obviously my experience is nowhere near as bad as Will's for obvious reasons.
Of course, yeah.
But because I am Hispanic and because...
You're Hispanic?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
With a name like Pablo Rodriguez, you couldn't get any more Hispanic.
I didn't know that.
I thought you were Jewish.
Thank you.
We learned
Mazel
things.
tov.
Mazel tov.
But the thing is, like, also, I have been stereotyped, though, just because of hip-hop. Like, because of wearing hip-hop clothes.
Of course.
And then and you know what? Even with that, to a lesser degree about what Will is talking about, my son who is 17, who just got his driver's license not too long ago, is now driving when able, right? I have had to talk with him. I've had to talk with him, not to the point of emphasizing any potential racism, but telling him, if you're gonna dress like this, I'm not telling you to not dress the way you're comfortable. Like,
Right.
You're gonna be dressing hip hop,
Right.
whatever, and
Right.
you're gonna look Hispanic, and you'll be rolling with your boys who are almost majority are black or
Right.
Spanish.
Right.
I have had to break down to him, and I started telling him, like, if you see lights, you better do this.
Do that.
You better do this.
Yep.
Basically, like, preparing him to avoid any potential bullshit,
Of course.
or complications,
Okay,
because
yeah.
outside of the norm, outside of a normal, all right, speeding, you forgot your signal, if you're going to get pulled over at night, you're probably going to be stereotyped. You better do this, this, and this to not do anything
Right.
to irk it. And it's an uncomfortable... I can say this now as my son is out there driving. Mm-hmm. Hell, he did it last night. He was out last night driving around.
With a tornado, what's up with his ACL?
Oh, yeah, he
What
got
the
it.
fuck?
He got it, but he was able to drive. We let him
All
drive.
right.
Driving
whatever.
automatic.
But But I can't lie that there is a paranoia in the back of the head, like the same paranoia that you just talked about. I have definitely begun to go through more for my son because it's a male.
Right.
It's a male wearing a hoodie, being hip hop.
Of course.
Definitely can, depending on who's looking at him, can decide to stereotype him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's a shitty feeling.
Yep.
And the only thing I can do is tell him, hey man, if it's nighttime, do this, and this. Do not do this, do not.
Yep.
Just do not. And no matter what, just take it on the chin. You know what I mean? Like,
I will.
There's so much bullshit because, especially these days, now there's more shit going sideways.
I mean, I will never be able to put myself into his position. I will never. It's just never going to be that situation.
By default, because
you'll have a closer understanding.
Yeah,
there's some people that are just obtuse about it, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
of course. I mean, we've been pulled over together.
Yeah, and you've probably you've seen that.
And I'll joke with him and make light of it, but in my gut, and I'm like, fuck, he'll be like, keys on the dashboard, 10 and 2, and I'll be like, Grandpa, fucking chill, But he's very serious about it, and the reality is that he needs to be.
Yeah.
Me, whatever. I've got that whole stupid white privilege thing, and it's infuriating to me to know that, and it's hurtful to me that he has to feel that way all the time.
That there's a truth to it, as much as it is talked about and it is used to sometimes.
Do you talk to your wife about those things? Does she ever have that connect? Like, does she ever say to you, like, I get it? Or not really? I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No,
and if
I haven't.
You choose not to speak to her.
I haven't really. I talk about it. I don't talk about it with me personally because I don't commute. So
because you stay at home all the fucking time.
Yeah, I stay harassed.
Exactly.
Chair to the fridge. You got a fucking pop.
Look! I'm telling you right now.
He's just going to get a goddamn crab leg. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
It's exactly how it is.
I'm harassed.
I shut the computer down.
Clearly
I'm going to make dinner, and then the cops like, "Yo, man, you speeding?" I'm like, "Speeding what? Speed typing, motherfucker?"
Exactly.
I'm like, "What's going on?"
Seen the way you kicked off that computer table. That chair was rolling.
You rolled that mouse a little too fast.
They're knocking on your door.
You be clicking on sites real fast.
I seen that chair go by the window. What's going on in there?
But I don't really talk about it. But like, just how when I get pulled over, especially at night, it's 10 to 2. I automatically immediately take the license and the registration, put it right on the dashboard. If it's at night, I turn on the light, put all the windows down, just so there's no doubt.
God damn it.
It's
Whatever.
a process.
It's a process.
And you try to do it before they get out the car so they know there is no
threat.
No threat.
I'm sorry.
And the thing is that
I work at the crack of dawn when it's still dark. The few times I've been pulled over when it's still dark out, I know automatically, like, everything you just said.
You talk about how he pulls off.
I'm a white guy.
I've worked on jobs.
And we do it. He's just emphasizing, obviously, that it's fearful that somebody's going to be tricked. Somebody's going to think, ghetto or hood. Like, am I going to get shot?
Well,
with respect to their job.
Than I got, but I've had more run-ins with police as a young guy. Now, not so much. I'm calming down, but same thing, man.
Like,
I've been dragged out of cars. I've been thrown on cars.
If I work
it
on
happens,
stuff
man.
in the city,
you got to know to calm.
And I'm on the Taconic.
You just better watch yourself.
I live like about 4 miles from the Taconic. I live right on Route 9. So when I come home, especially at night, especially from the Taconic, and it's either from Manhattan or the Bronx, one of the two, I will fucking 2 Red Bull that shit and drive all the way home. I don't even want to think about pulling over to take a nap. I will drive the whole way home. Because the only thing I'm worrying about is not getting pulled over in Deer, and fuck it. Yeah. And sometimes I don't even take the Taconic home. Sometimes I'll take the fucking Hutch and take 684. Oh, it's out of the way, but here's the thing. With 684, it's like 4 lanes. I can have it on like 75 cruise, just fly on down, and then I don't jump on a Taconic until Fishkill when I get to 84. Exactly. Because sometimes it's like, I really don't want to feel like swerving and shit in the Deer. It's just all over the place. At least on 684, 18-wheeler will probably hit the Deer before I do.
Country living.
So,
and I always tease him about the fact that he drives like an old man. Like, he drives the speed limit. But I don't have to worry about that. I do 80 miles an hour. Exactly, it's the white privilege. And
see,
and you
shake my fist at you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry. apologize.
I said you don't think the haircut would give her away, though?
The what?
Shit. Go back to the haircut. You don't think that
might give...
Fuck
you bed with a Negro,
I know what's going on there. Pull her over.
She got that black wife look.
Yeah.
That's it.
Your husband's name Mandingo?
What? You know what? Y'all can go.
No,
yes.
but
Fuck
look
you,
at
Gary.
seriously?
And I thought you were on my side all this time.
You see how he pulls it back?
I just wait.
Fuck you.
If you don't know, now you know.
Wow. Don't you? No. Don't pull Biggie Smalls into this, because.
Yo, I put Biggie everywhere and anywhere.
Yes.
Biggie is
absolutely.
my shit. He's better than Tupac.
Fuck all you hoes.
Oh.
What'd she say?
Biggie better.
Oh, I agree.
She took.
Hey,
Oh, damn.
No.
All right, yeah. This
not
might
even
be the last show for a lot of reasons.
It's not even a comparison.
Yo, she just killed our show.
Two completely different style rappers.
That's true too.
We got
but
the Biggie
two
Tupac
completely.
I usually will lean his way, probably because I'm an East Coast guy, I guess.
Yeah, I'm an East Coast guy, but I grew up with
ORG.
Pac's cousin because he lived in my building. So I'm in the middle. I've been to the family house. I'm in the middle. I'm sorry.
My
I'm in the middle.
brother-in-law battled Biggie Smalls and kicked his ass. But still.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Shit.
Boom plugger. Boom plugger.
Yeah, that's a story for another time.
Pull her over.
Pull her over.
Shout out to Stretch and Barbito.
Exactly. This show just took a left turn.
Again, whole other story.
Story.
It goes.
I'm sure.
But now,
Yeah, let's bring it back to after school special. Okay.
That understand what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just like all like.
You can handle
You want me to leave that?
Handle it.
Handle that for me.
Handle that.
She just said, handle that for me.
Well, I was.
Crab legs, earn them.
Yeah, earn them crab legs, motherfucker. I was going to say
the
like
crab leg episode.
Coming back to getting pulled over.
Brought to you by Old Bay.
Old Bay seasoning.
Welcome back to the crab leg episode of That's My Mama.
Yeah.
Joe the policeman.
Official sponsor, Zatarain.
Zatarain.
It's Cajun, bitch. For real.
We are fathers. You can tell where our kids are going to get our sense of humor from.
When the talk comes down, obviously I'll be the one to handle it.
But
just because.
You hope for the best.
Yeah, I hope it gets to a point where, I mean, it's like, I was in the Kingston Mall when that shooting happened. And I believe that was 2005. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember. But it happened in Best Buy. And strangely enough, the only time I go to that mall is Best Buy. But I went to Filene's. That's how long ago it was. Because it was Filene's and then changed to Macy's and now there's nothing there. But I had a job interview.
G Fox.
He said G Fox. Yeah. Chess King. 3 shirts for $99.
VIM.
Yeah, VIM.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
Chess King. No, I'm kidding. So, Zeke Havarici, bitches. Anyway.
Hey.
I'm a Puerto Rican and I need a purple shirt. Let's do this.
I was too fat for Zeke Havaricis when I was that age. And yeah, now I just want to have a pair. Just because I could fit in them. You don't care. Whatever, go ahead.
No, I'm giving the face like I care, but in my mind, I'm just like.
You look like you were taking a shit. You weren't giving the face like you cared.
I was actually holding back a shit, so that was a different face. So.
Go ahead.
I completely forgot where I was going with this because we talking about 90s malls. Oh yeah, so I went to Filene's because I needed to get shoes because I had an interview the next day. So the one time I go to that fucking mall and I don't go to Best Buy where the shooting happened was in Best Buy. Strangely enough, when I worked at that same Best Buy in the computer department, every time it rained, it would leak because they couldn't fit the bullet holes that went through the fucking roof.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I was at the Global Citizens Festival last year where they thought it was a shooting in Central Park.
Shit, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it wasn't a shooting. I don't give a fuck who you are. When you're in the Great Lawn in Central Park and you see 9,000 motherfuckers running in all different directions, yo, I'm telling you, that shit was crazy.
You run.
Well, that's black people in general. You see people run, you just run.
You just posted something like that on Facebook.
I'm teaching my kids that. I'm going to bring it back around. I'm teaching my kids that. You see
with the black people running
away, follow them some bitches. Look, that's what happened later.
They said, NYPD said on the Twitter and shit, they're like, yo, there wasn't any shooting. There were people that left the park and went back in, because Janet Jackson was getting on stage and shit. But I remember all the NYPD that was there, they were telling people to run. People were trampling all over each other. They had the fucking and why the New York City parks, trucks and shit, people were crawling under the trucks. Everybody's jumping over fences and shit. That shit was nuts. So I don't care if it wasn't a shooting. To me, that was a shooting incident because everybody ran like it was a fucking shooting. I mean, I still got video. I found video on fucking Facebook and shit. And people, it's like, it was nuts. But that's kind of where we are.
Do we have to teach our kids what to do in those circumstances?
Well, run. I mean, we have to teach our kids that you are not safe in a school, in a mall, in a library, on a fucking college campus, in a supermarket.
That was what I was going back, but that goes back to what I was bringing up, the street smarts versus book smarts. Because that's where I sometimes...
Street smart, yeah. You see that type of situation, you know.
Like that's where,
but that's where my paranoia is.
Yeah, but you don't need to be...
Some of that comes with the life experience also that these kids now do not get.
No.
They ain't going outside.
But you know what's fucked up is that they have these drills where they have to hide in schools.
Yeah, no, I know. That's...
And Jenna comes home the
that's
first
just
time
generation's I drill, man.
She's like,
Mommy,
I have to hide next to the toilet. I'm like,
we really didn't have that. We had like an emergency weather thing. You know what I mean?
We had that before our generation.
We didn't have that bomb shit. We didn't have the gun shit.
It was our generation before us that had the
bombs and all the bombs.
Duck and cover.
Yeah, but think about the three of us.
Hide under your desk, you'll be fine.
Think about the three of us and where we grew up. We have seen people get shot. We have seen people get stabbed. We have seen, drug dealers running down the street, shooting at cops and back and forth. You have, you could go out your door, you going out just to go to a bodega across the street and you see a fucking person dead and cops and shit in the lobby of your building. You've seen that shit. These kids haven't seen it. So they can't even imagine how it is to be in that situation. Like, we shouldn't have been seeing dead people at 10, 9 years old.
We saw the far end of it. We, unfortunately, especially for any inner city, in my opinion, if you're in the shit, you're going to come across some stuff that you probably never thought you would see in your life. And, just like I said, bringing it back to my point, my only concern, and it still remains so, is that sometimes I think by giving my kids better, I'm also hurting them for what they're going to experience in life. You know what I mean?
You have a daughter that's in the military.
It's just going to take them longer to become jaded. That's all.
Yeah.
To the point.
Well, that's what's happened. That I'm learning that firsthand. Where she was talking, like, I have a daughter who is in the Air Force, and she's definitely had a couple of experiences so far as a young adult that, you know what, it's without going into the details, it's bad, it sucks, and I wish things could have been different, you know what I mean? But and to be honest, some of her situations, unfortunately, there's nothing I could have done as a parent to stop.
Nope.
But she had some other situations, but some of the lesser situations that her and her sisters have all learned as adults. I tried, man. Like, it's a bitch. It's a bitch, and I still wonder, even to this day, even with my son who is still home, I try to show him more. With each kid, I try to rectify any mistakes that I missed. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, you realize, like, okay, it sucks, especially for the first one, because you realize, I didn't teach them this, I didn't teach that one that. You figure it out the more you go along. But then again, you wind up with the fucking Partridge Family if you keep doing that. But I'm just saying, it's a juggling act.
Yeah, basically the only thing you could do for your kids, and this is, I do this on Facebook, even though my kids aren't on Facebook, is like, if you're going to tell a story about something, there has to be a lesson involved. I mean, I guess I'm a funny person or whatever like that, but you see I post enough on Facebook where I got to get motherfuckers thinking, because being black in America is fucking cool, and it is also a fucking anxiety bomb. It is very stressful.
Of course it is.
And it's like, and it's not about whining. It's just what it is. I am very happy to be black. I don't know if I would want to be any other race, but at the same time, it's like I have to recognize that, there are a lot of people in this country that only would value me if I'm either entertaining them or making them money. And that's basically what it is. And, you're going to have, I pray you don't, but you're going to have interesting talks with Jenna and, because say, what if she identifies as just being black and stuff like that?
I think that's
But the black kids don't think she's black enough. Well, that's shit you got to deal with.
As an actor, as an actress, she's had those things during her casting. Her casting.
Yeah, and auditions
where
and stuff.
she's not black enough or she's not ethnic enough. And she's like, I don't understand. Like she'll go to something where they say looking for an and multi-ethnic child during this, And she's not ethnic enough because you know what? She passes as if she could be like, Italian or Hispanic, but she doesn't carry these standard African American white stereotype, what they're looking for. And she's like, but I don't understand.
Standard in quotes.
Ethnic
at least
enough.
Anybody get a bug up their ass.
Exactly. So she's got that piece that she gets, like funny about.
Saying, it's true, man.
Seriously, though.
It's sad but true.
Yeah,
you can say standard. Like, what you mean by standard is like we're not creating that standard.
And that's the thing. If somebody said I'm not white enough, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna have to talk to my kid about that. My son has blonde hair and blue eyes, which I thought would disappear. Maybe no, seriously.
I know what you mean. Like,
yeah, because my daughter was born, she had gray eyes, and then like around 2 years old, they turned brown. I'm like, okay. The gray eyes were cool, but brown. I got brown eyes, and then my son.
You are the father.
Yeah, and then my son. I was just springing like high five, like bitch, I told you more, you motherfucker. No, and then my son, he's got blue eyes and blonde hair, looking like a baby Jeter hybrid A-Rod and shit. He's gonna be bringing some nasty hoes home, but that's a different story. So, but anyway, I mean, just whatever. It's just there always be like some 40-year-old woman. Oh my gosh, she's so adorable. Be like, don't touch my kid. Get away from my kid. So, but. I thought maybe either the eyes or the hair would change one of them because I would think that's kind of what happened, but no, he's 10. It's still,
Yeah.
It is, but it's like if you look at him from the outside, it's like, does he pass for black?
Does he pass for white? Does he pass for black?
I mean, because technically he's got like the white hair, you know, so it's
same with her. Like her hair is not the standard. Like I shouldn't say the standard, but it's what everybody thinks as
the standard mixed kid is like the super mega curls and stuff like that.
Like they have mixed chicks, hair shampoo and hair, all this shit, and she doesn't fit into that box.
Like my daughter, we're buying black hair care products for my daughter. And see, we don't have
that.
Meanwhile, my son is like moose motherfucker, just like
exactly.
Gel, whatever. Yeah,
and with her. From the time that she was born.
It's So Glow Ethnic. It's a new brand. It's a branch
pink cream. We don't do pink cream. Like it's like Moroccan oil and shit. But with her, she's got like my hair and it's like curly and stuff. So, but anyway.
Hollywood calls.
Hollywood.
No, it's my fucking 25th fucking reunion.
Oh, that's right. That was today.
So it takes me about an hour to get home.
You actually like people in your like high school and stuff?
I'm gonna be petty about it and shit. I'm just basically like it. I'd be like, remember that time I asked you to say Hawkins dance? You said no.
Bitch.
Weren't you like 400 pounds lighter? Okay, just checking.
Exactly.
Here's a rose. Peace out, boo.
But,
whatever.
But I mean, so I guess to wrap it all up, it's like being a father and being a mother. They're both shit. They're just tricky.
Yes.
I will say this.
Especially now.
And as long as we work together as parents, all of us, then we can make it work.
It's weird. I watch Little House on the Prairie, and I think, I wonder.
Shut.
No. Look, there's a point, and I wonder what it like if you leave out the medical advances, because like kids back then could get like a cold and fucking die. But you think, would it have been easier to raise kids around that? Sometimes I think that, like, I just watch it, it just kind of pops in my head. It's like, and I don't mean like black kids, I mean in general, like raising kids in general. They already know they got chores, they already know what their responsibilities are. It's like, they're not spoiled. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I try to think about, if I was born in 75, if I was born in 55, would me bringing up my kids be different, than it is now? That's what I don't know. I mean, it's like I watch 80s films. I grew up on 80s films. I would have loved to have gone to high school during the 80s. High school during the 90s is like, yeah, whatever. But I think high school during the 80s would have been, I just think it would have been cool.
No, it's not.
Everything.
Well,
unless it's a fucking John Hughes film, then no.
Everything's better in hindsight. Like, you can't believe the movies.
Shut up.
That's why.
What'd you say?
She said it sucked. I'm like, yeah, but you only had 18 kids in the class.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
You did have a classroom from Little House on the Prairie.
We actually had kindergarten through 12th grade in one building, and we had 365 students.
Oh my God.
Damn. Are you kidding me? I had 36 kids in my third grade class.
That's what I'm saying.
I can only remember the names of like 7 of these kids and shit.
From the middle of my elementary school years, we constantly
if I was in a class that had
something kids.
Yeah, if I was in a class that had under 27 kids, I'm like, damn, it's small.
Yeah, for real.
Like, there's a seat in a textbook for everybody?
Yeah.
What kind of shit is
in
this?
School now, I'm like, oh.
Talk about you're going to have the textbook
you
Mondays, Wednesdays.
Over with your neighbor.
Now with
no.
Share the
book.
book.
Always word it. Share
but
with your
compared
neighbor.
to what I grew up with and what she's growing up
Oh, no,
with,
that's
like,
2 different worlds.
Crazy.
You open the book and shit, the first signature's from like 72 and shit.
Yeah. Learning by
Craig Johnson, 72.
I know Craig.
Craig's selling rock in the corner right now, but I see motherfucker read this book.
God.
I don't know if it's going to be a good or a bad thing, but I do have to say, though, at least all the mothers should hope that the dads are at least around so that way their kids can get some good sense of humor.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, I do think dads nowadays are way more involved.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They don't have a choice.
I think they don't have a choice. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
because the mother has to work, a lot of it. But I just think in general.
And you know what it is? The mothers want it to be a team effort. You know what I mean? Like, speaking for myself, like, I want him to be involved. So, like, just knowing that it's a team. It's you and me against her because she's a fucking beast, man. So we got to team up. We got to strengthen numbers, bitches. We got to...
I'm just saying the tase. Talking about, hey, is that a court over there in the corner?
That's it. That's it. But,
I mean, I just know my what he said, I agree with. But on the same note, I also know, like, from my perspective and a lot of other friends of mine, a generation of single parents. So if you do not want to be what was before you at all. So even if you're no longer with, as a dad, even if you're no longer with the mother, you are still trying to be active and constantly present because chances are you were not.
Absolutely.
You didn't have that. You had one person. In most cases, it was the mom holding it down.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I knew bringing up my kids were going to be different from the jump because my parents split when I was in 2nd grade. So my sister's 3 years younger than me. And in a weird 80s move, we stayed with Pops. So we lived with my dad. But at the same time, you know, I went to 3 elementary schools. Because, like, okay, mom and dad were together kindergarten, 1st grade. They split up in 2nd grade. I'm living with dad, 2nd grade. And I'm living with mom, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And then I'm living with my grandmother, 5th, 6th, and then I'm back with Pops, 7th, 8th.
God.
So, I mean, that's just kind of how it was. But I already knew it was going to be different because I'm like, these kids are going to have both their parents, you know? Right. And it's already been different just because, you know? And I'm trying to think of my Pops trying to explain the period thing to my sister. I'm like, I'm glad I wasn't in the room for that shit.
God, my old man.
You know, like, whatever. I mean, this Pops from North Carolina. I'm like, shit, probably like, hey, you know.
I know
periods,
we're
you know,
like,
Yeah, I actually have one question. It's credit to dads, because I went through this also. And it's probably ended on a high note. Have you guys ever seen your kids doing some stupid shit that made you laugh, though, and hide? Even if you had to hide it, you knew that they were just being retarded. Either they were doing something stupid that you outwardly laughed at them, that you just shook your head. You know what I mean? Like one of those cute, like...
I get a lot of that.
Or had one of those moments where you couldn't publicly endorse it, but you kind of... Mm-hmm. But now, this is where I have to say dads, because I don't know moms that do this, where you see it go down, you see it happen, you laugh about it, and your first thought is, shit, that was my fault.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You had me up until
I have that fear a lot.
Well, it was something you did, some type of influence you did that led to that moment.
I'm like,
but you won't admit it, or you won't. You can't cop to it.
Honestly, no.
Like that, you had like they did some stupid shit that you
all the time.
Windbreaker. Windbreaker. That's all I have to say. Motherfucking breaker.
You're the one on camera. Go ahead, tell the story.
I said it.
Listen, and before she tells the story,
quick.
I still stand by what Jenna said.
Shut up. So first week of school, I sent her to school in this fluorescent pink fucking windbreaker because I know fluorescent pink, she not gonna lose that shit, right?
All right.
First day of school, bitch lost fucking windbreaker. All right?
Okay.
Second day, Jenna, where's your windbreaker? Oh, I know exactly where it is, mommy. Okay, great. Go get it. Come home, second day. I know where it is, Mom. I swear I know where it is. I'll get it tomorrow. Okay, great. School parent-teacher night comes around. Now, I go to parent-teacher night with Guy, and we leave, and another mother is with us and said, "Oh, hey, just for shits and giggles, let's look it up the lost and found closet and see how many kids have lost shit in the last 4 days, right?" She opens it up and I was like, "Motherfucker." Fluorescent pink Windbreaker in the closet, right? So I grab it and Guy goes, "How do you know that's hers?" I said, "Let me guess. Columbia, 1012. That's hers. Doesn't have her name in it." He's like, "Yep." I said, "Okay." We come home, hold it up, and she goes, "Oh, you've got my Windbreaker." I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Thanks, Mom." I said, "I thought you said you knew where it was." She goes, "Yeah, it was in the lost and found." Bitch knew where the fuck it was. It was in the motherfucking lost and found. And that is something that motherfucker over there would do. Because I didn't specifically say, "Hey, Jenna, is it in the lost and found?" But because she said, I know exactly where it is.
She knew where it was. She didn't specify.
She wasn't lying.
She wasn't lying. But that is the shit that he does.
Where's the lie though? She was 100 about that shit.
100.
I know exactly where it is.
All right, so I mean, I have one. Yes. I mean, I have one. But I was gonna add, like, I don't know. You said no. You straight up like, nah.
Honestly, no. Sorry, no anecdote for that.
No anecdote for stupid kids.
No, because usually I see my kids do some shit and I'm like, the fuck did that come from? There's never been one time where I'm like, that was me.
Right. No.
Honestly,
Matt, I know, Matt, even if you won't cop to being the influence, Matt, you.
Yeah, but like I said, on the flip side, it's when I see other things, bad things too, where I'm like, oh shit, like bad habits that I know I had at that age.
Oh,
when
really?
I know what they can lead to because I know I lived it.
Okay.
I'm like, oh shit, man, I can't have this. I can't have a kid like me because.
What?
Oh, you're right.
What? I deal with that all the time.
I can't have that. I see.
Look, I already know my kids are not like
I'm like, oh god, no.
Okay, I already know my kids are not like me.
Right away, I go nuts.
Because young me, if I even talk to my parents the way these kids talk to us, if I even made a face that I was thinking of presenting those words, my fucking head would be on the floor. These kids are like, I don't give a fuck, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what? Then I look around, see if there's any hidden cameras and shit. I'm like, all right, no cameras? All right, bet. All right, let's talk about this. No. But even when I first moved up here, I moved up here in 89. These white kids were fucking crazy. I'm like, how you talking to your parents like that and shit? Like, no, whatever, Mom. No, Mom, kiss my ass. I'm like, kiss your ass?
You know, this is very, very clear. Matt, you didn't do that, right? Thank you. We just want to be very clear about the people at the table. It ain't all white people.
To them like that,
there was like other shit too. It was like, so let me get this straight. You go on vacation and you trust your neighbors to watch your shit? You know, and other stuff like, so let me get this straight. You're going to go in a supermarket and you're not going to lock your car door? Or my favorite, so you went in your house and you left the bike on the front yard? Alone? You know, like that was my first summer here. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Let's walk to the store. It's a mile. How long is it fucking miles? 20 blocks. No, fuck that. I ain't doing that. Hey, somebody give us a ride? I'm like, fuck that. No.
I can give you one story, bring it all the way back to the wrestling thing. All the way back to the wrestling thing. It's probably not the funniest story, but you want to talk about a bad influence and I didn't even know it, but I got tagged with it. Because I was at one point an aspiring pro wrestler, and I brought my kids around that world, so my kids started learning the behind-the-scenes stuff, which is now commonplace. Like the secrets are not, now, you know, the cat's out the bag.
Of course.
But at the time, it was still kind of protected. My kids kind of knew about it. So one time, traveling to the city, I get a phone call on the way. And I got paged. It's during the page period. I got paged, make a phone call. I get told, you got to talk to these girls when you get home. I'm like, what happened? And this is when they're still in single digits. I was like, oh no. She's like, yeah. She's like, we got a situation. I was like, and I got to talk to you. So I get home, and she's like, yeah, the twins, I heard them screaming and fighting in the room. I go in the room, and they were practicing wrestling moves on each other. At that point, in my head, I was like, fuck me. Because I didn't play fight with, you know what I mean? They just picked up on it. And I'm like, shit.
Cats in the cradle. It's like, who taught you how to do this? I learned from watching you, Dad. Suplex, motherfucker.
And then the worst part about this shit is, after all of this stuff,
how'd you learn to cut rock? I learned about watching you. They came back for the bass.
All right, I'm sorry.
But either way, I had to talk to the girls to tell them, you can't do this. All right? Literally, their mother kept me on the hook for this shit. Once I spoke to them and we get out of earshot, she proceeds to pull me over and says, she's like, oh yeah, when I went in the room, they were selling it great. I was like, and for those that don't know, apparently they were fake wrestling, throwing fake punches and kicks easily a foot to two away and acting out the pain. But yet, I was told in Brooklyn, I got to talk to you. You got to talk to these girls. And she literally made me go in and talk to those girls, only for me afterwards to tell me, oh yeah, they were selling it great. You bitch.
Yikes.
Talk about we taking them to Stanford to sign contracts, motherfucker.
We going Sizzler. We going Sizzler.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, of course, you've always got parenting moments you're not proud of. I'm sure that's not.
And just like, and you know, and just to bring it around, and trying to hold on to those relationships and keep them honest.
Right.
Especially when kids are around and you find out what the sex of a child's going to be and a deal gets made and someone doesn't find out for roughly 10 years. Listen, I said I was bringing it back around.
No, that wasn't my fault now. She said she lived up to her part of the deal. I didn't ask for details.
I don't know anything.
When my beloved wife was on this podcast, I found out she had known in advance through Guy what the sex was of the child. There was some deal, I don't remember. The deal was made to some degree that apparently she was supposed to give me any sex act or something sexual.
Anything that you wanted, she couldn't say no.
And that way she could find out what the sex of the child was before Melissa.
Now, I'd just like to point out once again.
And at the 18th birthday, found out
that's what a real friend does. Okay? That's what a real friend does.
You're off the hook on this one to a degree because.
Listen, I shot that big head out my vagina. So you know what? Whatever happened
for my cohort.
Damn, she probably dropped the mic on that one.
It
came out of me. Man.
For my cohorts, this information was just made available to me when I listened to that episode of the podcast last year.
Whoops. But that should be
no one mentioned this deal was
held out on you.
Everybody held out on me.
I didn't know. She said she did it. I wasn't asking.
So because details. It was mentioned on the podcast, that was mentioned on the podcast. I just want to mention that I was never told. It was never collected.
Dude.
I might not collect now out of spitefulness. I'm a sexy bitch. Shit.
Yo, just be petty, man. Just move to a nice palatial estate on Petty Island and just keep it petty.
Sounds good.
Beachfront property, baby.
Hell yeah.
I'll take the tsunamis any day of the week.
All right. I'm gonna.
Wait a minute. Who's losing out on that deal?
Listen, nah, brother. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that, brother.
Yo,
you should know that.
You mentioned petty. It's like everybody losing in this.
It's bigger than that, man.
I got nothing.
Petty Tendergrass. That's what's going on right now. It's getting petty up in this bitch.
My man knows where I'm coming from.
Petty or not, here I come. It's getting that petty.
Okay. Oh my God! I think we've gone off the rails.
Oh, we went off the rails. Maybe 2 hours ago.
All right,
just made you mad and then make her look me in the eye.
I gotta go because I'm ready to get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna say, do you have anything that you guys want to promote or plug or anything like that that's coming up that you guys want to put out there?
Dead don't die.
I don't know what that's about, but okay.
It's a movie.
Okay, whatever.
Is it still in? No, it's not still in theaters right now.
No,
it came out on Blu-ray last month.
Blu-ray, DVD.
All right, so yeah, Dead
Still
don't die.
Video on demand.
Yeah, my man played the zombie, if I'm correct.
Yeah, first time I saw it, I spotted myself 3 times. By the time I saw it the 3rd time, I spotted myself 7 times.
Oh, shit. So he's on that. he can.
Yeah, I was very happy because I had all these fucking zombie makeup pictures that I had to keep on my phone for a fucking year and couldn't tell anybody because I signed a non-disclosure agreement. I'm like, do I put this on Facebook and get sued? I don't know. Let me think about it.
And you can always watch them on old-ass episodes of Back to the Bodega on YouTube because, of course, we got to self-promote.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who
recognizes... new episodes coming out, motherfucker.
We got... yeah, we're trying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. We're in the archives.
And you know... and anybody...
Those are lost episodes at this point. We're going to start fresh.
And I haven't even seen these episodes.
Lost episodes. And anybody in the Poughkeepsie
area. They all lost because I
don't
even remember what the fuck we talked about. They're gone.
And all current events and shit. Like, how do you feel about KD joining the Warriors? You know, like all that shit. It's all old
and just
shit.
to promote Matt, you know, if you recognize Matty C and you see him possibly on the sign telling you to slow down because they're digging a hole, then fuckers, slow down.
I might be yelling at you to slow down.
He will be yelling at you.
What's going on in Myers Corners, bitch? What's up?
It's not my department.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'll take back the B word.
So there's all the promotion.
He ain't like, yo, you better slow the fuck down. What about Myers Corners? I don't got nothing to do with that.
I got nothing to do with it.
But slow down anyway, bitches.
It's been outsourced.
Motherfuckers working trying to live, motherfucker.
But I thank you guys for coming and having, spend some time and giving us the dad's perspective. Like, I don't even know if I can release this episode. Like, I feel like a shattered fucking woman.
Here's the episode.
Episode you have to pay to download.
I'm going back.
Too hot for TV.
It's not going to be back to the bodega. It's back to my bitches.
We got an infomercial coming out late night.
Too hot for TV with explicit language.
I can't even. I'm glad you guys came to...
She'll have like a director's cut. It's like 14 minutes.
I'm not even...
All right, sign out, man. We won't stop.
Oh my God.
And we weren't drinking.
It's like herding cats. Fuck. Anyway. Oh my God. Rate, review, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Don't be a jerk. That's all I can say. I don't even have any fucking quips to go along with it. Bye. That's it.
Bye.
Just to let you know, ladies, it's Scorpio season.
Bye.
So,
bye, bitch.
right on.
Bye, bitch. Oh my God. Hang up. Hang up. Hang the fucking phone up.
Real moms say the effort.
The best 5 signs: Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. The rest of the signs can eat a dick.
We didn't have any.